We'll go towards the end of the week. Go get a few. Because I've got my husband too. Because he's busy right now with Catholic, so I've got 18 of them.
From the church? Yeah, we do.
So I'm on it as many as I can.
Well, I got one that didn't even have an address.
Oh, really?
And they, the actually go to you, and the fire department.
But it doesn't have.
Give out? Yeah. I don't know why. Well, people have all this, or what? Someone's had to take it back to the library, they'll have to.
Support my address and everything.
Maybe take you about 10 minutes.
Immediately to first lieutenant?
Like this. There's a couple of churches.
That's pretty sweet deal.
There's a couple, I'm just gonna not even bother.
Hey, sir.
I'll go hit some of these businesses
I'm doing well.
that I know I'm gonna get somebody.
I'm okay.
I was supposed to work on right now. You might not even find anybody there when you show up. Yeah.
Everything good in the kingdom?
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna.
Queen of princesses.
It's fine.
When they commission, it's
Yeah.
the program they were in.
I'm gonna take
They
you.
would, I guess, I'll just say they were getting credit time served for their post-secondary college, like lawyer or chaplain, law school or seminary or whatever, they were kind of getting credit for that. So they skipped second lieutenant, commissioned as first lieutenant, and more than stays on track, I think 95% of them.
Really?
If you right click on here, it'll.
Well, I hope it's a good thing.
Non-intentional.
Anyway, and this is part of it.
How many years?
Like 57, yeah.
I know.
When we saw you, you graduated, there was, I would say there was some age people in there. They weren't all 20, 25-year-olds.
This stuff is evil.
Oh,
Also.
So they know what's all the work. Done better in life.
no, but
Niece,
you would have had less fun.
and she is an oral surgeon.
I feel guilty. I don't know if they even know.
Oh,
He passed.
Identified.
I talked to her the other day.
She said, I don't know how many years I have.
It's just
It was interesting.
busy and then a couple
Several
of
people in
meetings
this
took
class.
place.
That was 105 from the
Folks, and we were trying to wait
85
until February to see if anything happened.
What is
War
I
two.
don't look like that. Several people gotten married.
I would say honestly, cardiologist. Several men.
Why you gonna try?
ATC.
Always.
Overseas.
Okay.
I mean, it was just interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting that there were several, just stuff you just. What is their problem?
You got it advantage, Gabriel got advantage, he's already got loan.
Yeah. And his commitment,
Didn't wanna deal with it.
his first commitment is active
That's
4,
kinda how I just.
and then 4, he can either go on reserve, or be considered, yeah, but on call, I mean,
Active call.
yeah, like, hey,
You come with
we can still pick up on and say, you need to come on.
You went to Columbus. Did y'all go through the
I think it.
museum
I
there?
think.
We did.
That is
It's amazing.
yes.
It is really nice. If anybody, I mean, I encourage anybody, if you're down that way, you got a couple hours, it is worth just swinging by, and if it's open, it's really nice.
That would be like a great overnighter trip for kids,
Yeah.
particularly like the ROTC program, where started.
Get up a lot going up.
Take it down there, so they would rest.
Absolutely.
With the end game.
Yeah.
With the end. Yeah, really, yes.
It was fun. I played fun. It was neat. We had fun. You know, y'all appreciate it. Like my dad was there. Yeah. 62 years apart, my brother graduated from college. You know, that's pretty neat.
Well, we had, I mean, we had.
I did get sick of my brother-in-law. Walked out there, mom, you know, they flew faulty structure. They just finished OCS school and they were waiting to sign. But they were kind of there. Coming in the door, you know, just got there. Well, brother-in-law, we walked by, my brother-in-law realized, that old man, everyone was like, yelling like. And I'm thinking for yours, I think they're both in unison. They just cracked a smile, it's like, yeah, I'm right, sorry. So, yeah, right. He told me, one of the trainings that was done by Charlie, the guy that worked with, his word was, he goes, oh, we got much, they always needed to serve. And that's kind of real quick what we're doing wrong, so. And then like the 18-year-old kids, he said, they got common areas. Yeah, I mean, I can talk to one of them, but sorry, all those places, that's all me across the room. It's hard at that time. Yeah. Walk right back. Because like one of the left arms, we get a chance to talk to him yesterday. Because he's in Virginia now. Okay. How is it? Real quick, we learned we blow fish, you know, we blow man on the totem pole up here. He said, we walk around down there, he said, we carried a little weight just because there's so many young kids there. He said, now, you know, folks walking in the hall are, Cool bird Colonel.
Did that go well the other day?
What not at all.
Huge congrats to him. He's steadily taking big bites out of the pie.
No, and
Well,
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Madison County Board of Commissioners regular business meeting, February 27th, 6 p.m. Please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before you gentlemen is a copy of the minutes from January 30th, 2023 regular business meeting and the minutes from February 6th agenda setting work session. Take a moment, look over those. If you see no discrepancies, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve minutes.
Second motion. Motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Just for the record, Commissioner Kirk called and he's not feeling well. He has been advised by his doctor to take a break for tonight. So we told him, no problem, get well soon. Business involving guests, groups, multiple visitors. All right. Chairman's report. There was more than these five, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it. Before I start, any of y'all watch the Super Bowl? I'm just curious, because there was a lady at the beginning of the Super Bowl, one of the three, the girl that flipped the quarter. You see, she was from Athens Tech. Yep. Mm-hmm. I didn't know if anybody paid attention to that. Some lady that works with the Archway program or something, but she was at the Super Bowl. She was the one that flipped it. They showed Athens Tech in the video, and also hats off to them. Good job. Yeah. thought I was like, did I hear that wrong? Athens Tech. I said, yeah, all right. All right.
All right, that's it.
All right. So, the BOC and the IDA are working together with the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission to apply for the Appalachian Regional Commission feasibility study for water and sewer projects. This will assist the county in creating the future water projects, water and sewer projects, as we move forward over the next 10 years. This feasibility study couldn't have came at a better time with us wrapping up the current comprehensive plan. Just for the people that's not in attendance, for the newspaper purposes, if you're trying to understand what that is, this will be just another tool that will guide us on where to run new water lines and where sewer is needed, besides the idea of what we already know. This will actually be a permanent record. If this board was to disband or get voted out, the new board will know how to follow the plan in the future. With that being said, Christina, we don't have it on here. I just thought about it. Our current comprehensive plan has been submitted to the Regional Commission, and we are waiting for their approval. There was some changes they'd like to see made in the paperwork, but we hopefully in the next few days, potentially a week or so, we will get the final blessing from the Regional Commission for submittal. The Recreational Department has had 837 children register for spring sports. We're being told it's a record, but also what is a record is there's 200 volunteer coaches. This is between coaches and assistant coaches. I think the Rec Department has done a really good job of reaching out, asking for support and volunteers, and parents stepped up. We know there were some gaps in there last year. A lot of it come from not enough coaches and too many kids, but I think this year we're going to have them covered pretty well. So I wanted to point that out. Kudos to the Rec Department on that behalf. Registration for the Recreation Department Summer Day Camp opened today, February 27th. You can register online, madcorec.com. If the weeks that you are interested in are full, you can click on a tab that says a waiting list, go ahead and register, and if anybody backs out of the list, you'll just get moved up the list. I don't know what number you're on. I will tell you that list opened at 12:01 last night, and by 8:30 this morning, I'm number 27 on the waiting list. So we had employees here tell me today that they went to bed, set their alarm clock to wake up and register to get in. So, yeah, that's how good that program is phenomenal for the youth. And the main reason is because it goes all the way up through ages 13, I think, or from 13 to 15, you can actually be like a director over the kids. Yeah, so they've got it broke up in pretty good age groups. Number 4, adopt a road program. Annual renewal begins in March. Anyone can pick up an application at the transfer station or download from the website. You should be able to go on through the Madison County website to do so. This is a free program that citizens can help their local communities by collecting litter from the roadways. Please contact the Keep Madison County Clean and Beautiful at 706-795-5151 for more information if you choose not to use the website. I will tell you this is a big push this year, is trying to get our county cleaned up. I know I have urged citizens on multiple occasions to do their part. Our road department now pulls a trailer behind most of their trucks, removing tires and larger debris. It is astonishing to see our roads get cleaned up, and within 5 days, they're just littered again. I don't know what some of our citizens and how they were raised. I'm not going to get on that soapbox right now, but we got to do a better job of keeping our community looking better. The Comer EMS station is in the final stages of construction. We are to the point now of finishing the concrete tomorrow for the driveway. Interior is being finished and painted as we speak. Hopefully we're going to be in the new EMS station, if all goes well, by May 1st. That is my projected deadline for for moving in and complete completion. It won't come out in the newspaper this week, but if you can get it on the website, it would be great. Lexington Highway in Carlton will be closed in the morning from 8 a.m. until Wednesday about 5 o'clock. We have an emergency road repair. There's a hole developing under the road, and we don't want anybody to fall in it, and that is a cut through for a lot of granite trucks. They come through the 3 quarters down around Sandy Cross. They use that as a cut through. So that road is being closed as of 8 a.m. Please use an alternative route. All the quarries have been contacted. With that being said, that concludes my chairman's report. Statements and remarks from citizens on tonight's agenda items. Anyone? All right. Old business, consider the final plat approval for Spratlin Mill. Jay, I think that's your project, correct?
It is.
All right. You made it just in time. Sorry, you looked hobbling. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt tonight. With that being said, this should be the completion of this project. All I's is dotted, all T's is crossed. Road bonds is complete. I think you're waiting on nothing more than a motion from us to proceed, correct?
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, I would entertain a motion to move forward with the final plat approval for Spratlin Mill. This is phase 5, right?
Phase 5.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion by Commissioner May. Second.
Second motion.
Second by Commissioner Chandler. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, Terry, it's on you.
I was gonna ask Canonis from P&Z, did y'all have any comment?
No, we approved it. We approved to send it to you all for approval.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries. I'll move forward, sir. New business, consider approval of a Class F sales of distilled spirits by the drink for a restaurant for Wing House Grill. Any questions or comments on this? They have met all county and state requirements. Let me throw that out.
Yeah, and they do hold a beer and wine license. This will be able to sell liquor by the drink.
Y'all want to move forward, go ahead and get a motion on the table for this one. Sure. Motion to approve by Commissioner May. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Doster. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. Frank, it's on you.
Yep.
Yes.
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 Consider approval, motion carries. Consider approval for a Class A retail sales for restaurant and a Class F sale of distilled spirits by the restaurant La Cabana. I can't even pronounce the last word in Calvert. La Cabana of Calvert, what I'm gonna call it. Is that, I guess, I don't know how to say it.
This will be for the beer and wine license. They missed some deadlines and they had some CPA issues at the end of the year to renew their license, so it's a new license for them and for the new Class F liquor by the drink.
We don't have any history of problems with previous license.
No, they've always communicated well. There was just, I think, some language barriers in the new system that the state put out. So I spoke to their CPA on the phone and helped walk them through the process, but there's no issues on our end.
I will say, the reason you're not seeing these like we did back in January 1st or the first meeting is because of the new state mandated changes that was made. We're used to, they've done all the filing here, and now they have to do a portion of the filing at the state, and then they have to do a portion of the filing here. And it was not a good process because it was the first time around that the state done this. A lot of confusion to the business owners. And it was the same way with almost every gas station. I gotta commend Christina and Lacey for fielding hundreds of calls about why are we not approved? We're approved here, but we're not approved there. It was a mess, but maybe it won't be next year.
it was confusing for the counties too.
Yeah.
They did a good job of communicating with the State Department to get it done.
They're on a first name basis, I'm pretty sure now, with the state.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I have a motion by Commissioner Doster, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Adams. Any discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none. There's one.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Motion carries. Consider a quit claim deed for Johnny McElroy Road, old roadbed. Christopher, you were part of this. Mike knows more about it than anybody. This is coming from an outside attorney that's done the legwork for us.
Yes, sir. It's coming up because there's a sale of property, some property neighboring Bowringer they're buying to add to their enterprise there. And so when they did a title search, they found that this road had been relocated, but it was relocated many years ago, but there was just never a quit claim deed. So it's just necessary on paper, formality to clear up the title work so they can purchase that property.
All right, we'll ask for a motion to consider the quit claim deed.
I'll make a motion to approve the quit claim deed.
Second motion.
I have a question.
Yep.
Do we have any liability issues with that sliver there that's been abandoned? I mean, I'm thinking it's their property, the adjoining, but is there?
All three parcels are owned by the same person, I think.
Right. This is actually this is showing a smaller piece. What they're buying actually, this booth owns this too, so it's all around it, so it's all being abandoned. And you don't have to put that in, there doesn't have to be a formal abandonment, when it's a relocation rather than a road closing. That's why we're not going through that procedure. But you're asking me something else, aren't you? I'm talking about the remnant piece that's shown, that's not red, that's in the old right-of-way that would have been abandoned. We're gonna have to go through this again for that little sliver.
So on the left side of that north property line.
Oh, that's possible, that's right, because they're only asking us to quit claim, yeah, you're right. They're only asking us to quit claim to Ms. Booth for the portion that's on her property.
So if Cole, the owners of that property, Cole, they would have to request it.
They would, and, you know, there's this case law that says that when the road's relocated, title automatically reverts to the adjoining landowners. I guess in the case of both, you know, probably a pretty substantial transaction, and that's why they're asking for the quit claim deed. Sometimes title attorneys don't ask for it. We might or might not.
So I have a motion by Commissioner Doster, second by Commissioner Chandler. Any other discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, it's on you, Dennis.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I don't think it came up on that other plan, there's only on that.
Okay.
It made it a little bit easier in looking at the plat because it says the quit claim, or the deed was to the center line on both sides. So it was pretty much just a formality. I mean,
Right.
it already spelled out what it was, luckily, whoever drew the plat. Road updates. We're moving a lot quicker. I need to slow it down a little bit. Road updates. Lim Edward Road, we've got a lot of calls on that lately. Clearing of right-of-ways will begin mid-March, early April. This is the county's portion. The tree cutting contract has concluded. A lot of the owners on Lim Edwards have been very reasonable. They understood that it's rained 60 out of 90 days, and then the setbacks we've had with the washouts. But our plan is to have crews on site mid-March to start grubbing the stumps. 2022-23 LMEG road patching projects are 80% complete, and I'm going to need to give you a description, because obviously there was some misunderstanding in the public as to what we were doing when we said road patching. The way the roads are going down now, the plan that we utilized was, there was no paving for this spring. It was all patches. This is gonna be done in 3 phases. First, we're doing the groundwork, which is the patch. We're grinding it out, milling, and then we're gonna come back after all that's complete and surface over those roads. There'll be 3 different types of surfaces that we'll end up with. Some will be just straight asphalt, some will be a micro surface, and some will be a, trying to think of the exact word. I know what it describe it, I'm trying not to describe it. Triple surface. So if it's a non-highly traveled road, it'll probably go back triple surface. If it's a mid, we rated these in majors and minors. The major highways will probably get asphalt back, a 2-inch asphalt type deal. But a lot of the minors, for instance, I'll pick a road in Carlton that may get 6 cars a day, it'll probably triple surface. If it's a road that gets 20, 30 cars a day, it may actually get the micro. But, so you have seen some areas and subdivisions that were addressed, because subdivisions has not been addressed in the county in over 20 years. And no, it will not look like that, because that's the phone calls we got. Is my road always going to be patched up? No, there will be an overlay come on top of it. There was one Larry you called about. I was unaware when I told you what they did, and then later that day I found out that I was wrong in that. So you did see an overlay down there. I think it was because of the distance of the road. They decided we just do a whole overlay. The road department is focusing right now on scraping and gravel and dirt roads, because obviously we know everybody's behind because of the rain. We can't push mud. We have both scrapers running. We have 3 dump trucks running constantly. So your dirt roads are getting attention. We're not getting many calls, but the ones we are not complaints. And I'm so proud of that. They're just saying, just want to make you aware we've got a bad spot on this particular road. So it does make it a lot more effective when we get those kind of phone calls. And last but not least, because Facebook, the sidearm crew is currently working in the Sanford Hull area. There was a Facebook post that went out, went pretty viral. A lot of people commented on, and I'm going to explain that. The sidearm crew done a great job. Now, to the property owner, they may not have thought so. The equipment that the county uses for sidearm cutting is the same equipment that the Georgia Department of Transportation uses. It's identical. What we had done in years past is on the roads that were maintained on a regular basis, they got trimmed. There was a lot of roads in this county that needed a lot more than trimming. They needed to be cut back. So you saw a lot more debris. When you get to that point of having to do those cutbacks, you have 2 options. And that's either to cut the tree completely down or to cut it far enough back that you could then maintain it. And over the years, they've done a good job of maintaining, but there was a lot of roads that got neglected. So the roads you see with the heavy tree trimming was done on purpose. But if you'll give it about too much, when the foliage starts coming back out, you'll never know they've been cut. It'll look just like all everybody else's roads. It is a safety issue for us as a county government. We do not like destroying your shrubbery along your pasture line, I promise you. But we do have to keep in mind that school buses can't see a lot of times like cars can see. I just wanted to sum that up about Facebook. Those guys do leave a mess because they're having to cut heavier. What they did not give time to do is for the shipper truck to come behind them, picking the mess up and shipping it up, which happened the next day. So they saw it, they went viral. As soon as the cutting happened, the debris that was in the picture on Facebook in the road was only in the road until they turned the tractor around and went back and picked it all up. But that ain't the picture you got. You got first picture. So I'm just trying to explain to everybody. The guys know what they're doing, and they are doing a good job. Just be patient. The end result will not be the same as the start result. So, with that being said, something I am concerned about and that is the amount of deadly crashes we've had in this county. And I don't know, Zach, if I need to lean on you, buddy, a little bit and have an article written so people understand what they're driving every day. You know, most of these vehicles are, 10, 12,000 pound missiles that's got 280 to 300 horsepower behind them. Just because you turn your kids loose, and it's not kids in these wrecks. Last Sunday, at the same time, we had 3 accidents involved in cars upside down with entrapments. At the same period of time on 3 different roads. I don't know what's going on. Luckily, there was 4. One of them wasn't in our county. It was Harvey Mathis Road, right on the other side of Ingalls. They're piled up and upside down right there. At the same time, I was calling Alan and let the whole fire department know. He said, no, we're on Charlie Bolton on an upside down car that's wrapped around the tree. But there's too much going on in the car. There's too many buttons and there's too many phones. But just be aware that there's a lot of people ain't gonna go home at night if they don't start driving a little bit better. We can only do so much as a county to keep a good road to drive on that you can see around the curve because the sides of the road are cut back and the ditches is correct. But I'm scared to death at the rate that we're seeing car accidents, I mean deadly ones, that needs to be addressed. Some of these roads are 40 mile an hour, 45 mile an hour speed limits. The majority of county roads are 45 mile an hour. People says, why don't you increase the speed to 55? Let's increase it to 55, then you'll run 65. Speed's not the factor. It's the drivers that's the factor. So, I don't know what to say other than I'm very concerned with the amount of amount of crashes that we're having. Our EMS, I can't brag on them enough, they ain't getting no rest. Those guys on 24-hour shifts is working 18 of it. And it's been that way since October. I think I addressed the way Piedmont Hospital and St. Mary's do right now. That's still a concern. I will tell you that our EMS director, Bobby Smith, was in Christina's office today, and he was headed to a homeowner that's had, in 3 months, 50 plus calls to the same residence. By law, if you call 911 and request an ambulance, we have to go. 50, how many times was it? Did he say like 57 times?
Yeah.
57 times in less than 70 days we've been to that home. Transport every time. She's racked up over $40,000 worth of transport bills. We can't not go. But for every time that we pick that person up, we lose that ambulance in this county for 2 hours because of the wait time at Athens Regional. Good friend of mine, we know the mayor in Coleman, had a bad accident, 30 minutes on waiting an ambulance because it was sitting at Athens Regional for an hour and a half. He drove himself with a broke leg to the hospital. Our ambulances are getting stuck at the hospitals. Minimum 1 hour wait time. Minimum. They'll tell you when you back up, it's an hour before they'll take that body. And when you're running 3 accidents at the same time and or frivolous calls like the 57 to the same home in 70 days, when somebody has a heart attack, what are we going to do? Adding more ambulances is not the solution. Frivolous calls, running our ambulance drivers to death for somebody that's been throwing up. What I'm being told on this particular one, it's, what is it, Christina, what did it say it was? It was, anxiety. Anxiety. Can't breathe, shortness of breath. 7 times in 70 days. So please be mindful. That's a whole nother story, Zach. I mean, you just write story after story. And I don't mean to be on the soapbox, but I'm worried. I'm worried that my next door neighbor has a heart attack and I can't, my ambulance, our county ambulance don't get to show up because so-and-so stumped their toe 3 days ago. But they could call 911, I have to go. It's been sickening. Statements and remarks from citizens on tonight's agenda. Statements and remarks from commissioners.
Just want to thank you to Brian and the Dansville Volunteer Fire Department, that's outstanding work.
I skipped something, gentlemen. On the road updates. Dennis, do you have any we need to address, sir?
Have a couple I'll share with you afterwards.
Okay.
Is this what I'm already sharing?
I gotta second that. The Danielsville, take advantage of stuff like that. These churches is having these cookings, these fire departments, it's not gonna be long and all that's gonna go away, because there's not enough public support. But Danielsville hadn't had one in about 2 years due to COVID. Didn't think they were gonna have one this year. Luckily, they brought it back, and they was well over 1,000 served. It was phenomenal. If nothing else, it's a fun time just to go and see everybody you hadn't seen since last year. The Lodge, they do a serving, a cooking. We gotta get that back going. We gotta get more community involvement in these programs around here and supporting these different, programs that try to support us. But yeah, kudos to Danville Fire Hall. Statements, you got any statements, Frank? Executive session to discuss real estate acquisitions, personal matters, and potential litigation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Derek Doster.
I love it, Jerry.
I thought that had to do what I was learning. Where have you been? What are you doing down here? I didn't see you get up there and beg for anything yet.
Already done the
Apparently I missed it because I didn't get up I didn't.
5:57.
I missed it. I didn't get to object.
You walked out.
God, she's gone. I did while I was out. I found out there's a road closed tomorrow. And I kid you not, you have to be down there at 11 o'clock in the morning, doing, just walking over.